Thanks, Senator Paul. First of all, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Senator.
You have done a lot of work for the United States. You have sacrificed a lot of time. Your family has paid a big price for that. For that, I say thank you to all of your family and to you. I often will refer to OMB when people will look at me with a confused look, like, what is that? I will say it is the most important agency you've never heard of. It is a common refrain that everything has to come through there to be checked. You're keeping us out of legal trouble. You're getting the budget train on track. All those things are incredibly important. And so I thank you for the work. It is super wonky, super nerdy work, but it is incredibly important to be able to do. So thanks for stepping into that. I've got several things that I want to be able to talk through. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask permission to be able to put something onto the screen as well. Would that be okay?
Without objection.
Thank you. So you started work when you were at OMB before on a bill that was passed called the Taxpayers' Right to Know to create a federal program inventory. That was great work that you laid. To their credit, the Biden administration and OMB continued that work of working on the federal program inventory. This is what it looks like now. It should be a listing of every program in all the federal government. We've never been able to, as members of Congress, or certainly not the public, to be able to say how many programs are out there that do this, and to be able to search it. The Biden administration has put together a lot of search features into this, try to get it out. It's unfinished. There's still more programs and things to get into it, but it is a tool that we look forward to using. It's been on GAO's top list for years now to be able to actually get done. It's getting done on this. But there's some areas that are unfinished on it that I want to just be able to highlight on it. The Biden administration has done a lot of work to be able to get the skeleton of this going. But let me just give you one example. This is not about Youth Build as a program, not making a policy statement on it. It just is one of the many entities that are here. This lists how much spending is done on it, on the different authorities that are done, what regulations are from it. But also one of the requirements of this is to be able to ask, what's the results? Here's the money that Americans are spending. What do we get for that? Well, in this particular one, it has results. What was done in 2016, how it was evaluated, but 2017 wasn't evaluated. 2018 wasn't evaluated. 2019 was evaluated, but it was evaluated based on how much money was spent, not the results of it. Then nothing in 21, 22, I heard something about the COVID that came during that time period, I guess. 22 and 24, it just says we spent this much money in this many places. That's not really the question. The question is, what did we get for that money? So my question to you is, as you're stepping into this project that is you started, others have worked on, and now needs to be finished, how does this rank in a priority for you to be able to fulfill, which, by the way, is the law now, to be able to have a way to be able to look at every program and to see how it's evaluated, if it's evaluated at all. That helps all of us around this dais to be able to look at it and to say, you know, there's 12 different programs that seem to do the exact same thing. 2 of them seem to be successful and 10 of them aren't. We can't see all that unless we go ask GAO to go chase it for us, unless this is actually finished. So how does this rank in a priority for you as far as getting this done?
Thank you, Senator. It'll be a high priority. As you know, when I came into OMB, I'd gone through this process the first time and clearly made aware of the extent of these transparency apparatus that was intended by Congress. And there was a lot of objections from individuals saying, oh, we don't have the bandwidth to do this. And we brought all sides of OMB together internally. We put someone in charge to become an expert. I provided director level leadership to say, I will push through the barriers that exist to being able to get this set up. And so I'm looking forward to seeing where we are. And I would want to finish the job if given another opportunity by the Senate.
That's great. Thank you. Look forward to that. Because again, this is not partisan work. This just take every program that's out there and just say what's happening. How is it being used? How is it not being used? Nothing to hide. This is full transparency that the American people are actually looking for to be able to have, and quite frankly, all of us in Congress are looking for as well to be able to go through it. I'm going to go through several different things that have come up in the last few years. Circular A4, which again, we're getting into nerdy stuff here, was rewritten by the Biden administration. It's something that had been used for years by Democrats and Republican presidents alike to just evaluate cost benefit. The Biden administration came in, changed all the rules that had been done for decades, and said, we want to rewrite this. And actually what we want to do is to say, we're going to evaluate it based on the immediate costs, but the long-term benefits. We're going to look at just the costs in a small area, but get the global gain from this. They changed the rules of how every regulation is done. That's something I would just say. You can't say how you're going to be able to act on this because you're not there in the seat on it. But I would say change it back. There should be no disagreement with this body to say, use the same rules President Obama used, okay? Because this was a nonpartisan rule until they tilted the scales and said, no, we want to be able to change the scales on this. Something else that you put in place that I thought was a great benefit to the American people was that all guidance documents had to be online. That if an agency had guidance, it couldn't be hidden guidance. There couldn't be surprises show up in some business out there and say, you violated our guidance, when people would say, I've never seen it, I don't even know how to find it. Most agencies didn't have any of their guidance publicly until you actually helped put it online and it could all be done. Well, the Biden administration came in and turned that off and said, no, the American people and businesses can't see the guidance from agencies. You've got to guess what guidance that agencies are putting out. Oh, I think that's wrong. I think if there's a regulator is going to actually put a guidance document out there, I think they should actually have the guidance and should be able to find it rather than have to play Mother May I to go get it or guess what it is. So again, you're not in that seat, but I would recommend, based on the desire of the American people, if their government is going to put guidance out on what they need to do with the regulation, they should at least know where to be able to find it and to be able to have that. So that's another piece coming up. You have a lot of responsibility in the days ahead for helping us deal with spending. The chairman brought this up at the very beginning on this. My question to you is, how do we get a hold of the grants? We have a grant that came out from State Department doing an investigation on, do helmets improve safety in Ghana? Well, I can go ahead and not spend $1 and tell you probably helmets improve safety there just like they do here on motorbikes and bicycles. I don't need to spend that money on it, but for some reason we decided it's in America's best interest to do a study on helmet safety in Ghana. How do we get the parameters to make sure grants that are going out are actually in America's best interest and best use of Oklahoma taxpayer dollars?
Sure. Senator, thank you for all the questions, particularly on the regulation front. And some of these ancient landmarks that the Biden administration moved are certainly, we're aware of them and will be considering them in detail. As it pertains to grants, obviously the management side is a very important office, OFFM, putting forward rules and regulations to guide agencies on the grant process, but also asking the oversight questions. And many of the times that OMB is accused of withholding money, or these are not impoundment conversations, these are us asking the questions of the agencies, how are you going to spend the money wisely so that we can get all on the same page as to whether something's going to be totally wasteful or not. And that is, I think, one of the important aspects of getting in and being confirmed for this role.
Great.